So during 2020, I had a lot of free time, like a lot. And I wanted to use it to better myself in some way. And I didn't. Like, I worsened myself quite a bit. I'm not responsible. I lose stuff. If there's an important document, I don't have it. I'm a constant disappointment to the DMV. Sir, do you have your social security card? I haven't seen that in 30 years. Sir, it's an important document. Well, then you guys shouldn't have printed it on a gum wrapper, okay? At least the passport people made a book out of their thing. It's got pages and a cover, and yes, I lost that one too, but I shouldn't have. Sir, do you have your birth certificate? My birth certificate? That document is 54 years old. I also don't have the Declaration of Independence. You can get a new birth certificate. You know, you just got to write to the state. But you can get one. I lose them all the time. I'm like, can I just get a book of 50? Is there a birth certificate of the month club or something I could join? Then they start with a car question. Do you have a title for your car? I never thought of one. The sedan with a plan. My friend told me if you get the vaccine, that's the government's way of putting a chip inside of you. And if that's the case, like, I'm very grateful. I mean, that's going to make the DMV a better place for everybody. Sir, we need to see your paperwork. I'm pretty sure it's in here. I got my shot in my left arm. Just get your chip reader out. It's back there. Yeah, it'll beep like a metal detector. I think if I could ask a favor while you're in there, I forgot my Apple ID. If you could look it up. I tried 3 times and they locked me out. And irresponsible. I'm not a good driver. I hit stuff. Cars, primarily. And I spend a lot of money on insurance, but I use it. I mean, my friend was like, Greg, I've never been in one accident in my entire life. I'm like, well, how do you know your insurance works? Like, mine works overtime, you know? Like, I pay a lot. I should pay a lot, but I want more from my insurance company. First of all, they say they're going to send you an insurance card. Stop calling it a card. It's a piece of paper, okay? I want a card. $3,500 I gave you guys last year. You can afford to send me a card. At least laminate the card. The library laminates their cards. I don't think the whole library system made $3,500 last year. They don't send you a card. They send you a piece of paper, and it's got a dotted line on it with a picture of scissors. No, you cut it. I'm not cutting it. Not for $3,500. You can hire a couple of cutters up there for that kind of money. And if I do cut it, I'm not cutting on that stupid line. I'll cut whatever shape happens to come out. The cop's gonna be like, can I see your insurance? Swan? Is that a swan? Is that what that is, sir? Did you make a swan, son? If you get a piece of paper in the mail and it's got a picture of a scissors on it, just know you're doing business with some greedy dirtbags. At least back in the day, they did a thing called perforation. Perforation. Remember that? That was their way of saying, hey, we're not going to cut it, but we'll get you started. You know, it was a fair deal. Each side gave a little bit. You felt like you were being treated like a customer. There is no more perforation. It doesn't exist. The only thing left that's perforated is toilet paper, and I'm telling you right now, if Charmin starts putting scissor pictures on their product, I'm going to have a real problem with that. Yeah. That's where I draw the line, and I'm not talking about a dotted line. Somebody in here is old enough to remember they would give you a card. Every 6 months, the insurance company would send you a plastic card. It looked like a credit card. You put it in your wallet, you felt like a man. Now if I get pulled over, I have to unfold a little piece of paper. It looks like a note from my mom. Like, please excuse Gregory from any bad driving. He lacks concentration, but he's a nice boy. There's a note from my dad at the bottom. He doesn't lack concentration, Colleen. He lacks brains. He's an idiot. He can't drive. They're just greedy. They're greedy, you know. Hey, this is Stan in finance, and I was running the numbers, and we only made $178 billion last year. We're going to have to save some money somewhere. Here's what we're going to do. No more plastic. Send them paper. Put a scissor picture on there. They think they're doing a craft project. Then, a couple years later, hey, it's Stan, I got a better idea. Don't send them paper, send them an email. They can use their own paper. Pretty soon, it's going to be like, hey, if they want a card, tell them type something up, write the word insurance on the back of a bonnet paper towel. We don't care. We already got their money. Tell them it's for the environment. I read my car insurance card. On the front of it, it says, do not discuss the fault of an accident with anybody except for the police or your insurance agent. And I remembered it, but I got it mixed up with my health insurance card. I was at the doctor. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not talking. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. So I didn't used to do this. Like this wasn't my job, you know. I was in the peanut butter game. You think that's funny, man? I guess you've never heard a little thing called lunch. Like, I was part of that. Like, I sold Jif. I sold Jif peanut butter, right? Yeah. There's a reason why we're doing this special in Lexington, Kentucky. Jif is made here. Yeah. Jif is the best peanut butter, okay? It's the best peanut butter. Our motto was, choosy moms, choose Jif. Choosy moms, not all moms, okay? Let's say maybe you're a mom who drinks in the afternoon and goes to the casino and forgets to pick up your kids from school. If that's the case, by all means, buy Peter Pan. Okay, that's a better product for you, all right? Like, Peter Pan, come on, their mascot is a boy who refused to grow up. Maybe he couldn't grow up because he was malnourished, because he was eating that garbage peanut butter named after a cartoon character. Peter Pan can fly because he has hollow bones. There's no nutrients in Peter. Now listen, I'm gonna talk a lot about peanut butter, okay? It's an important subject, but I need to address something up top. It's been a rough year for Jif, okay? If you guys don't know what happened, we had a problem. Some people, barely any, like 14, got some salmonella, okay? And they traced it back to Jif, okay? And Jif did the right thing. They pulled it off the shelves nationwide. They pulled it all off, and I feel bad about it. I mean, I didn't do it, all right? But like, I wish I could go back 20 years when I worked there and say, like, hey, if you guys are thinking about coming up with some sort of a raw chicken-flavored peanut butter, don't. Like, it's a bad idea, you know, like. And just so you know, like, that happened in 2006 with Peter Pan. They had the same thing, you know. They had a recall, salmonella. Just this year, Skippy had some metal particles in their peanut butter, and they had to pull it off the shelves. And you guys are like, well, Greg, it's never happened with organic peanut butter. Yeah, that's because they've only sold, like, 30 jars of that stuff, right? You know what I'm talking about? The organic peanut butter? It's got like an inch of oil on the top of it. Looks like a science project on the grocery shelves. You know, well, Greg, that's how peanut butter naturally settles. Well, then cover it up. Nobody wants to see that. Greg, your peanut butter has preservatives in it. That's why it doesn't do that. Yeah, that's exactly why it doesn't do that. Yeah. Maybe we're trying to preserve people's appetites, right? Like, Greg, you just take a knife and you stir the jar and the oil goes away. Oh, now I'm supposed to help you make the peanut butter? Why don't you just hand me a bag of peanuts and a hammer next time? I'll smash them up myself. Me eater, you maker. Now listen, there's probably somebody out there, and your mom made you eat organic peanut butter when you were growing up. If that's the case, obviously you were homeschooled. That's why you're homeschooled. Your mom did not want you to go to school and sit next to the Jif kid and have that kid be like, hey, there's another way to live. And maybe you're a parent, okay? Maybe you're a parent and you force your child to eat organic peanut butter. And if that's the case, I'm not gonna tell you how to raise your own kid. I am gonna gently suggest that you at least expose them to some different peanut butter, before you send them off into the world. Because I don't know if you've ever seen an organic peanut butter kid go off the deep end. It is not pretty. Okay, these kids, they spend 18 years eating it, then they go off to college. They have one bite of a Jif sandwich. 6 weeks later, they're passed out on a park bench with Nutter Butters all over their face. We got a lot of that business at Jif. We didn't want it. That's blood money right there. We took it. But, Now, the company that I work for was called Procter Gamble, okay? They don't own Jif anymore. You know who owns Jif? Smuckers. Smuckers owns peanut butter and jelly. If these guys ever get a hold of bread. Now the government will step in. That's an illegal monopoly. That's Sherman Antitrust, I think. I mean, you can't own a whole sandwich. This country was founded on principles. Right? But, I mean, I'll be honest. I was a big deal. In the. Ma'am, I was, all right? Like, I was a big deal in the peanut butter game, okay? I was part of some stuff that I'm sure you'll remember. I was part of the team that launched the first low salt, low sugar peanut butter into the category. It was called Simply Jif. It was targeted towards diabetics. I wanted to call it Type 2 Peanut Goo, but... I liked it, I always felt guilty because we charged the same for crunchy as we did for creamy, which, if you think about it, the crunchy, we didn't finish making that. If you went to the plant, the crunchy guys are probably getting off work at noon, and the creamy guys are still smashing up peanuts at 5:30. The savings should have been passed on to you, and I still lose sleep over it. I'm a purist, I'll just tell you right now. I'm a peanut butter purist. I think there should be creamy and crunchy, and that's about it, There's a lot of new flavors in peanut butter. They're getting fancy. I don't care for it. Like Peter Pan has honey roasted peanut butter. If I know those guys, they're just grinding up bees and stirring them in there. And I mean, even Jif, my company, they're doing some stuff I don't care for. I mean, they're getting fancy. They have an Omega Jif. Omega Jif. Omega, that's fish oil. They're putting fish in peanut butter, and they're wondering how they got salmonella. What kind of fish was it? Salmon, maybe? What? Are you guys not seeing what I'm seeing here? I mean, I know a lot of stuff. I mean, just so you know, the main size in peanut butter, that's 18 ounce, okay? That's where the deals are. That's where the wars are fought. That's where we go head to head, There's a 28 ounce, there's a 40 ounce, but the deals are, they're 18 ounce. And if you went to Kroger right now and you bought an 18 ounce jar of Jif, it would probably cost you about $3.19. Back to school, maybe 2 for $3. If that happens, stock up. It's not coming around for another year. All right? I ran a deal one time, Columbus, Ohio, 200 Kroger stores, 18-ounce Jif, 99 cents. Yeah, I did that. It'll never happen again. Never. Even the bad moms bought Jif that week. Mama, this peanut butter tastes better. Don't get used to it, boy. I ain't giving up cigarettes and I ain't giving up Red Bull. So when it's gone, it's gone. That was a unchoosy mom. Like, I'm sure you've all seen an unchoosy mom at the grocery store, right? Like yelling at their kid or something. Like, choosy, I wasn't choosy when I met your daddy. I ain't about to start with no peanut butter. You better put that brand name peanut butter back on the shelf or I might choose to leave you in the parking lot. Like I did your brother. You didn't know you had a brother, did you?